Could an ancient metropolis buried beneath the world's most famous pyramids rewrite history? Or is it just the latest chapter in our endless fascination with archaeological conspiracy theories? In March 2025, a team of researchers from Italy and Scotland made headlines worldwide with their dramatic announcement about the Giza pyramid complex. Using a combination of satellite-based synthetic aperture radar and seismic vibration analysis, they claim to have discovered evidence of a vast network of underground structures extending approximately 6,500 feet beneath the pyramids. Their findings included 8 vertical cylindrical shafts, approximately 12 feet in diameter, reportedly connecting multiple levels of these underground spaces like a prehistoric skyscraper. While the scientific community responded with measured interest and calls for rigorous verification, the discovery claim has yet to undergo full peer review or physical investigation. The Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities formed an independent committee to evaluate the research and determine whether further investigation is warranted, though the process of confirmation could take years to complete. The announcement barely had time to settle before the internet erupted with conspiracy theories. Within 24 hours, the hashtag Alien Giza City was trending globally, accompanied by elaborate digital renderings showing futuristic underground chambers bathed in ethereal blue light. One viral video, viewed over 40 million times in a week, confidently declared, "This proves what we've been saying all along. The pyramids were built as markers above an alien base." The creator, despite having no archaeological credentials, was quickly booked for interviews on several late-night talk shows. The ancient alien artifacts theory dominated early discussions across social platforms. Proponents argued that the sophisticated underground network described by researchers was too advanced for ancient Egyptians to construct without extraterrestrial assistance. They pointed to the vertical shafts as elevator systems and claimed the depth of the structures, over a mile underground, was beyond ancient human engineering capabilities. These claims ignored well-documented evidence of remarkable engineering achievements by ancient Egyptians, including precisely aligning air shafts within the pyramids themselves and elaborate tomb complexes carved deep into bedrock in the Valley of the Kings. A second conspiracy theory gained traction among alternative history communities: the Atlantean technology vault hypothesis. This narrative suggested the underground structures were built by survivors of Atlantis who brought advanced technology to Egypt around 10,000 BCE. Proponents pointed to alleged similarities between the described underground chambers and Plato's accounts of Atlantis, though these connections relied on selective interpretation of both the research findings and Plato's texts. This theory conveniently ignored the complete absence of archaeological evidence for Atlantis as anything more than a philosophical allegory created by Plato. Perhaps the most technically elaborate conspiracy theory involved the ancient power plant claim, which had previously been applied to the Great Pyramid itself. According to this recycled narrative, the underground network functioned as part of a massive energy generation system. Social media creators produced slick graphics showing how the vertical shafts supposedly channeled Earth energy or served as some form of ancient reactor. One podcast, hosted by a former TV presenter turned alternative archaeological researcher, devoted 6 hours to speculating about electromagnetic properties of the underground chambers, despite the fact that no one, including the research team, had physically accessed these spaces. What began in fringe internet communities quickly spread into mainstream media. Cable news segments featured split-screen debates between archaeologists urging caution and conspiracy theorists making dramatic claims. Morning shows ran segments with chyrons like Ancient Aliens or Ancient Egyptians. Many outlets prioritized engagement over accuracy, presenting legitimate archaeological perspectives and unfounded speculation as equally valid viewpoints, what media scholars call false equivalency. The Giza discovery claim also revitalized older conspiracy theories that had circulated for decades. The Hall of Records theory, a claim popularized in the 1940s that a chamber contained ancient wisdom lies beneath the Sphinx, saw renewed interest. Similarly, stories about NASA astronauts supposedly discovering evidence of ancient Egyptian alien connections resurfaced, despite being thoroughly debunked years earlier. Dr. Emily Hawthorne, an Egyptologist at University College London, observed this phenomenon with concern. What we're seeing is a kind of conspiracy theory recycling program. Old debunked claims get repackaged and attached to new discoveries, giving them a fresh veneer of plausibility to audiences unfamiliar with their history. The underground city claim, whatever its ultimate scientific validity, has become a magnet for every fringe theory about ancient Egypt. When examining conspiracy theories about archaeological discoveries, especially ones as potentially significant as the Giza underground complex, it's crucial to separate speculation from evidence. Let's take a methodical approach to analyze these claims against what archaeology actually tells us. The ancient aliens built the underground city isn't much worth its salt when you slam it against scientific data. Proponents often point to the supposed impossibility of ancient humans constructing sophisticated underground networks. However, archaeological evidence demonstrates that ancient Egyptians were master builders not just above ground, but below it as well. The elaborate tomb complexes in the Valley of the Kings extend hundreds of feet into bedrock with precisely carved chambers and corridors. The catacombs of Alexandria feature multiple levels of underground chambers connected by carefully engineered passages. These structures weren't built by aliens. We have the tools, worker villages, and even ancient administrative papyri documenting their construction by human hands. When conspiracy theorists claim primitive humans couldn't have done this, they're revealing more about modern prejudices than ancient realities. Dr. Muhammad al-Said of Cairo University explains, ancient Egyptians had thousands of years to perfect their engineering techniques. They possessed sophisticated mathematics, abundant labor resources, and remarkable project management capabilities. What they accomplished was extraordinary, but entirely human. The Atlantean technology vault theory suffers from an even more fundamental problem. There is no archaeological evidence that Atlantis ever existed as a real place. Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, which first mentioned Atlantis, were philosophical texts using allegory to discuss his ideas about government and morality, not historical accounts. Dr. Jennifer Wegner, Associate Curator at the Penn Museum, notes, it's one thing to speculate about an underground complex beneath Giza. That's at least a testable hypothesis. It's quite another to attribute it to a civilization for which we have zero archaeological evidence. Perhaps the most persistent conspiracy involves the ancient power plant theory, which suggests that the underground structures served as some form of energy generation system. This claim fundamentally misunderstands ancient Egyptian motivations and technological capabilities. The material record shows no evidence of electrical technology, generators, or even distribution systems. What we do have abundant evidence for is religious and funerary practices, precisely what mainstream archaeology suggests the pyramids were built to serve. A critical factor often overlooked in these sensational theories is how geological formations can create false positives in remote sensing data. Limestone, which forms the Giza Plateau, naturally develops karst features, caves, sinkholes, and tunnel systems created through water erosion over millions of years. Dr. Helena Rodriguez, a geoarchaeologist who specializes in subsurface imaging, explains, what can appear as artificial rooms and corridors in preliminary scans often turn out to be natural cavities when physically investigated. This has happened repeatedly at sites around the world. If you had to choose between more investment in new sensing technologies or more meticulous excavation methods, which approach do you think would reveal more about ancient Egyptian mysteries? Let me know what you think in the comments below. The history of Egyptology includes several revolutionary discoveries at Giza that later proved to be misinterpretations or natural features. In 1992, a German robotics engineer sent a small robot up a shaft in the Great Pyramid and found what appeared to be a door with metal fittings, sparking worldwide speculation about hidden chambers. Later investigation revealed it was simply a stone slab with erosion marks and small copper components that likely served as ritualistic elements. More recently, the big void detected inside the Great Pyramid in 2017 using muon radiography generated enormous excitement. While this void likely exists, many archaeologists believe it's probably a stress-relieving feature similar to others found in the pyramid, rather than a secret chamber of revolutionary importance. 4 years of additional research have yet to confirm any alternative purpose. These episodes reveal a common pattern in archaeological misinterpretations. Preliminary findings get reported sensationally before the slower, more thorough process of verification and contextual analysis can occur. Dr. Mark Lenner, who has spent decades mapping the Giza Plateau, puts it this way: archaeology doesn't work at internet speed. Good science takes time, especially when dealing with structures of this age and complexity. Perhaps the greatest disconnect exists between pop culture portrayals of Egyptian archaeology and the reality of the field. Movies and television have conditioned audiences to expect secret chambers filled with gleaming technology, booby traps, or earth-shattering revelations. The archaeological reality, while no less fascinating, typically involves meticulous documentation of pottery fragments, architectural details, and organic remains that together tell stories about ancient lives. This doesn't mean mainstream archaeology has all the answers. Significant questions remain about specific construction techniques used at Giza. How exactly were the massive granite blocks in the king's chambers raised to that height? What specific tools achieved such precision in limestone cutting? These are legitimate archaeological mysteries that make the actual study of ancient Egypt fascinating without requiring aliens or lost super civilizations to explain them. What makes the conspiracy theories about ancient Egypt so persistently appealing, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary? The answer lies in fundamental aspects of human psychology and our relationship with the past. Archaeological conspiracies offer something emotionally satisfying that mainstream science sometimes struggles to provide. Simple, dramatic explanations for complex achievements, a sense of hidden knowledge, and narratives that connect directly to our modern lives. Studies in cognitive psychology have identified several factors that make archaeological conspiracies particularly sticky in the human mind. The proportionality bias leads us to assume that monumental structures must have equally dramatic origins. It feels intuitively wrong that thousands of ordinary humans with simple tools could create something as perfect as the Great Pyramid. There's also the appeal of hidden knowledge. Conspiracy theories offer the seductive promise that you might possess insights that academic elites either don't have or are actively suppressing. This psychological appeal gets supercharged by modern media ecosystems that reward sensationalism over accuracy. Social media algorithms don't distinguish between archaeological fact and fiction. They simply promote content that generates engagement. A TikTok video claiming hidden alien tech found under pyramids will almost always outperform one titled Methodical Analysis of 4th Dynasty Construction Techniques. These algorithms create feedback loops where users who engage with one conspiracy theory get recommended increasingly extreme content on the same topic. Dr. Catherine Wilkinson, who studied digital misinformation, explains, "What we're seeing is an attention economy that naturally favors the most dramatic archaeological claims, regardless of their accuracy. People who might start with genuine curiosity about ancient Egypt can quickly find themselves in echo chambers where aliens building the pyramids seems like fact rather than fringe speculation." Perhaps the most troubling aspect of archaeological conspiracy theories is how they consistently attribute remarkable human achievements to non-human sources. There's an uncomfortable undercurrent to many of these theories. The implicit suggestion that non-European civilizations could have created monumental architecture without outside help. Dr. Hassan Ibrahim of Cairo University observes, "When people look at Versailles or St. Peter's Basilica, they don't immediately suggest aliens must have built them. But the equally impressive achievements of ancient Africans are somehow considered impossible without extraterrestrial intervention." The irony is that the actual archaeological mysteries of Giza are far more fascinating than the manufactured ones. Legitimate questions that still engage archaeologists include: how exactly did pyramid builders achieve such perfect cardinal orientation without modern compasses? What specific techniques allowed them to level the 13-acre base of the Great Pyramid to within 2.1 centimeters? How did they organize the massive workforce required for such a project? These questions don't require supernatural answers. They invite us into the ingenuity of our ancestors. Ancient Egyptians did indeed create sophisticated underground structures, just not alien bases or power plants. The rock-cut tombs in the Valley of the Kings extend hundreds of feet into limestone cliffs with multiple chambers on different levels. The Serapeum and Saqqara features massive underground galleries housing enormous granite sarcophagi for sacred bulls. The Temple of Hathor and Dendera includes mysterious underground crypts with beautifully preserved reliefs. These genuine subterranean achievements demonstrate the remarkable capabilities of ancient Egyptian engineers working with copper and stone tools. When we look at what the builders of Giza actually accomplished with verified Bronze Age technology, the reality is more impressive than any conspiracy theory. They quarried, transported, and precisely positioned over 2.3 million stone blocks weighing an average of 2.5 tons each. They incorporated sophisticated architectural features like stress-relieving chambers above the king's chamber to prevent collapse. They created internal shafts aligned with specific celestial bodies, and they accomplished all this while creating art of extraordinary beauty and sophistication that has endured for more than 4,500 years. The genuine wonder of ancient Egyptian civilization isn't diminished by acknowledging it as a human achievement. It's enhanced. As Dr. Salima Ikram, one of Egypt's leading archaeologists, put it, when we recognize the pyramids as the work of human hands and minds, we're connected with our ancestors' remarkable capabilities. That connection across millennia is far more meaningful than attributing these structures to aliens or lost super civilizations. The potential discovery of an underground complex at Giza, if verified through rigorous scientific investigation, would indeed be revolutionary, but within the context of human achievement, not extraterrestrial intervention. As we await further research on this claim, we can appreciate the methodical work of archaeologists who combine cutting-edge technology with careful analysis to gradually expand our understanding of the past. In the meantime, we can marvel at what we know with certainty, that humans, very much like us, with our computers or power tools, created structures of such perfect precision and enduring beauty that they've inspired wonder for thousands of years. Their achievement doesn't need embellishment with conspiracy theories. The archaeological reality is extraordinary enough. If you've enjoyed this exploration of ancient Egyptian achievements and modern myths, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into archaeological wonders around the world. What ancient mystery would you like us to investigate next? Let us know in the comments below.